so powerful, because instead of us having to directly physically connect, we can connect etherically. We can connect on the quantum level, and we can start to activate on that space, and we can start to shift and move things on that level. This is just the precursors, though. It has to start getting physical. We have to start coming together as a group, as people, which is exactly why I do my retreat. But we come in together, and it starts to create a space to where these literal magics that we can create inside of ourselves, that we can feel as something so powerful, we can then magnify it with the group field, and then we can send it out into the rest of the world. Now, there's a lot that has to be fixed. There is so much darkness on this planet. This isn't just, the control systems. We're talking about like the warlords over in Africa. We're talking about the drug cartels in Mexico. We're talking about people getting stoned to death on the street over in the Middle East. These types of happenings right here, these are being controlled by very, very powerful and old systems of parasitic consciousness, that they don't have bodies, but they have a mind and a spirit, and no way to feed themselves other than steal from other people. And the strongest way that they've been able to figure out how to feed themselves is off of suffering, off of pain, off of destruction on those levels, to where it creates the sadness, the down feeling, that heaviness, like that rock in the pit of your stomach sensation. That's their food. And we have to go in and fix this. We have to go in and clear it out. But it starts with our own internal understanding, because as we clean our own selves out, it gives us the playbook for how we have to do this on the planet. We can't go over there and tell those people what to do. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah. We have to create something so beautiful that it starts to spill out, and it starts to create something to where those people start to find the fringes of it. And it's like two energies that come together, and one of them that destroys and one of them that creates. Light always trumps darkness, and it cannot happen any other way. And so once we get the light strong enough on this planet, those systems are going to start to crumble, and they're going to start to collapse, and there's no way that they can keep going on that level. And that's why we've got to really focus on us and then move it out.
Definitely. And I see, unity consciousness as like the global immune system amongst us as humans. Yes. That if we allow this heaviness and this conquer, divide agenda to keep us from really extending ourselves to the whole planet, the humanity has a weakened immune system if we don't come together, and so we're very, very vulnerable to continual attack without having the shielding that you're talking about. I mean, I think I just visualized a bunch of white vans with a bunch of this plaster stuff, and then we just have this network all over the country to go to the towers and plant them. I mean, there's so much that people can do. There's so much that we can do. We're not helpless. We're not victims. I mean, this is nudging us into the fullness of all that we are. I mean, adversity can really awaken that. And that's what I love about your abilities. It's just the alchemy part of it. I mean, seriously, you're turning lead into gold, but working with the substance of DNA and the elementals within us. And it's really beautiful. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. This retreat's going to be amazing. So give us an idea of like, what would be like, sort of the structure of a typical day on the retreat.
Definitely. So we would start off about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and we would go through the morning routine. And the morning routine is something that I personally designed, and I've taken bits and pieces from modalities such as Tai Chi, Qigong, and yoga, and I've combined them all together. And one of my favorite types of yoga is actually something called Kundalini yoga. They call it the noisy yoga because you make a lot of, there's a lot of noise and breath that happens with it. And what we end up doing with this is we activate the physical centers of the body where the nerve plexuses are that activate the bioelectric flow. And then that starts to activate into a space to where we can take it directly into the energy movement with the Qigong, with the meditation. And so we do that every morning, and that primes everything. And so we then come back, we break for lunch, and then we come back and we've got another 3 to 4 hour chunk where we then start to go into the energy work, and we start to build on top of that. And so each day, like, we start off with that morning routine, and it's purely physical. It's something that it starts off in a space to where you feel good, and it makes you active, and it makes it so that it's easier to tap into the energy. But each day that we go through the energy work, it builds on to what you can do inside of that morning routine. And by the time that we're done, each stretch is going to be a full body, mind, spirit action. Each movement is going to be a flow of energy. And it's beautiful to watch. It's like you see people come in who they don't really understand very much about how energy works or how to activate it in the body, but they feel compelled to be there. And as they grow throughout this week, each day it starts to build something inside of them to where they leave with an understanding and a mastery of how to operate inside of their bodies. And you know, each day is different. The morning routine is always the same, but each day is different. And we go through a different aspect of energy activation or an emotional activation. My favorite day is actually trauma release exercises, where we go through exercises that make our legs kind of shaky and they burn out. And then you end up laying on the ground and it starts to spark these releases from directly inside of the psoas. And this is where we hold on to a lot of tension, a lot of trauma, a lot of memories and emotions inside of the psoas muscles. And you end up with people flopping all around like uncontrollably as they are releasing these emotions and energies. And
Whoa.
it's really kind of an intense place to be, but it's beautiful. Everybody gets up off of that day just feeling like $1,000,000. And that's
Dang.
actually one of my favorite there.
Oh, that's so cool.
It
Wow,
is.
so it's a full week. So I'm going to put all the
Yes.
details in the description.
Thank
So
you.
okay, so just on a practical level, hearing about a virus, you know, you got a family. What are the steps that you take to just be preventative and just protect your health and your family? Like what are the maybe herbs you choose or supplements? I mean, just kind of
Definitely.
like a day in the life of Eric hearing about a virus and
Definitely.
and and yeah, kind of walk us into like your world and what you do.
So so I've got 5 kids and only one of them stays at home. She's 3 right now. And then the others are in middle school. And then the second youngest, she's in elementary school. So there's 2 different school districts that we, or 2 different schools that we have all these germs coming back into the house. And my second to youngest is actually sick right now. And she's got a cough going and she had like a stomach thing that was happening. And so what we do is we immediately get on the echinacea. Echinacea is a beautiful immune system booster. And it's not something that you can cure anything with, but what it does is it empowers your immune system to create a lot more lymphatic flow. It creates a lot more immune system cells inside of the body, and it makes it a lot easier to get over things. Colloidal silver is another really, really good one. Colloidal silver, I take that every morning with my tea. And my morning tea, it's actually Dr. Morse, Morse. If you guys want to look him up, he's a phenomenal nutritionist, and he's got this this health club where it's free to join, and then you can buy from his online shop. And I've got the Heal All tea, which is a very powerful detox. It's got all kinds of good stuff inside of there, including black walnut, which is a parasite killer. And then the other one that I take is the tummy tea, the stomach tea. And so that fortifies the ability to regenerate your stomach lining, and it makes more absorption happen inside of the intestines. And so I actually combine those 2 every morning, and then I put some raw organic honey in it from a local place around here. And then I put a dash of colloidal silver in that. And I got to tell you, I feel phenomenal. Like we've got people dropping like flies left and right. And Deja, she's the only one who's gotten sick so far. And, you know, that's because she likes to get down and dirty. She's still 7. So, you know,
Uh-huh.
and other than that, there's what's the name of that stuff? It's a Chinese cough medicine. I believe it's called Pei Pa Qua, Nam Jiam Pei Pa Qua, Peipaqua. And this stuff right here is just absolutely phenomenal. And it's really funny because it's made out of herbs. But when you taste it, it tastes like Robitussin. And so you can actually see where the Western medicine tried to copy it. And
Oh, right.
yeah, it's really, really good stuff. And you can get 3 big bottles of it on Amazon for, I think it's like $33 or something like
Oh
that.
my gosh,
Yeah.
they're gonna be thanking you for. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get on that before I post this video.
Oh, it's
um,
really good stuff.
oh, sweet. Yeah, I'll have to get that spelling, and if you could send me a little message. Yeah, so that
Definitely.
sounds awesome. Yeah, we got tons of herbs and supplements, and you know, it's just amazing. In this shift time, you know, people are really starting to recognize that the earth is so abundant and filled with medicine and herbs and supplements that, I mean, what do you see happening with the medical industry in the face of our empowerment? I mean, I know that's sort of an obvious thing because I know things are crumbling, but do you see just, I guess, the systems that are in place having greater resources that are healthier, or do you see almost like out with the old and new structures and buildings and healing centers? Or do you see a slow kind of morphing into something much greater, or them collapsing
Well,
completely? I don't know if that's if that
that's
came out
a
right.
really good question. one of the things that I feel happening right now more than anything is an integration. It's where the ancient understanding starts to really sink itself into the modern systems, and then from the inside out starts to transform it. And we're already seeing a lot of that with, herbalists are no longer considered, quacks, just like chiropractors. They back in the early 1900s, these guys, like, I mean, doctors would run them out with like pitchforks and tar and feather them. Like, I mean, it was crazy. We're starting to already see this. And one of the things that I really feel is going to happen is, because don't get me wrong, Western medicine is good at what it does. It's a hammer, and if there's a nail, it's really good for it. But, we've got all kinds of different nuances that don't need a hammer, because it's not a nail. And I'm starting to see an integration. And I truly believe that the physician of the future is going to be a Western medicine trained doctor, massage therapist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, energy worker. And that type of expertise all melded together, because we don't have to burn what, we recognize is turned into a crazy system. There's still a lot of good in it.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm a physical therapist, an energy worker, and a massage therapist. And if you come to me with a broken bone sticking out of your arm, you might get vomit in your wound. I'm just warning you right now. Like, I can't handle it. Like, it's not for me. And, we need Western medicine for that, for trauma.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't need everything that's happening. Like, they're looking at everything like it's a nail and they got to hit it with a hammer. And that is absolutely not the case. There is so many spaces that we can internally go inside of ourselves to boost our own immune system through our own understanding, through our own work, and through our own activation, that it eliminates a lot of the medicines that they're trying to chemically put inside of us right now, whether that's vaccines or prescription pills. But it does have a time and a place. Like, if you've got somebody who's been in a car accident and they're in absolute agony and pain, morphine is one of the best things that you can ever give that person.
Yeah.
Like, it gets them out of that space to where they can actually relax and let the blood flow and start to actually heal the damage. I don't know anybody who can do brain surgery right now energetically. There's definitely stuff that we can do to get things open. But if we've got like a big cancerous tumor in the brain, there's a lot of things that led up to that point that could have been prevented beforehand. But once we're at that point right there, I don't know how to take care of that. Nobody else really knows how to take care of that either.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of Chinese doctors, medicine doctors, energy medicine doctors being able to reverse a tumor inside of the body. I've never seen it happen here in America. I don't know how it works. I'm looking for it. I'm definitely trying to figure that one out. And until then, I'm going to have to point people to that space. We just had cancer show up in our family a little bit ago, and it was a really big scare. And here I am from my perspective, like, hey, I can definitely help you get the energy flowing. I can show you the emotions inside of the body that led up to this space right here, and we can do the best that we can. But when somebody's stuck inside of fear and they've got all these medical doctors who, they seem really important and they seem like they know what they're talking about, tell them that this is what's going to happen or you're going to die, they're going to be inside of that system. All we can do is support them,
Right.
And so it's all about integration. It's all about finding a better way. It's all about finding a space that not only is it a better way, but you can prove it. And that's what the medical community is all about. It's all about the results, and it's all about the what can actually happen. And so if we start creating these systems to where we demand these studies on herbalism, we demand these studies on energy medicine, it's going to start shifting. And once we have all of these peer-reviewed studies inside of the medical community, it's only a matter of time.
Well, I think it's incredible, the possibilities of a medical system that has, like what you're saying, the emergency situations, the surgeries, all that is so beneficial, all the good parts. And then all this, real medicine. Can you imagine if kids could just take herbalism in school and just come out just like knowing how to just be a medicine person on a natural level. So I look forward to all these changes. It feels really positive. It really hit me when I, at the airport, oh my God, all the organic snacks, even though they cost a fortune, but it's like, at least the options, no matter where you go, even convenience stores, it's like, whoa, before, it was really difficult to be healthy and travel because the options weren't so great, but it's nice that there's so much more conscious awareness. It's Wild. So anyway, before we close, is there anything that you'd like to talk about before we say goodbye?
Definitely. So let's actually tune in here. So there is an energy that I've been feeling really starting to become strong on the planet, and it's information. And information, once it comes into contact with cognizant awareness, it becomes something that it's like the person becomes a frequency broadcaster for this field. And this feeling, let's tune into this here. So glorious human, absolutely amazing, exalted human, you are the only thing in your own way. And if you did not deserve to exist, you would not be here. And the simple fact that you are here means that you have a choice. And if you have a choice, you can change the world.
That's beautiful. I love your energy. It's so wonderful to have you on. And this retreat is amazing. And it's just such a gift to give to the self. You know, I mean, we really just deserve so much self-love. And this is a huge statement of self-love and that micro macro connection between you, like what you were saying, you know, how the inner work affects the whole planet.
Yeah.
Each one of us just doing the best we can to be our highest potential is everything. It's so amazing to me when some people say, I have no purpose. I feel like I have no purpose. I'm just like, just being in a human body and just being here. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much all of us can do. And I don't know. I mean, just being authentic is enough
Yeah.
of a purpose, you know, just be yourself. And
Yeah.
what does that mean? What is that, you know, because it's like the frequency we put out when we're honest with ourselves and we're genuine, you know, is a part of how we build that field. So yeah, people are, you know, definitely panicking, trying to prepare. It's just amazing to me because H1N1 and all these other ones were way more extreme and there was no panic. I mean, all these events
Yeah.
are shutting down. Some events that I was going to do in Europe for, you know, UFO related stuff shut down.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this mass hysteria wasn't around before? I mean, why now? Is it like you're saying, the desperation because of where we are? I mean, just seemed like the swine flu and all this other stuff didn't shut down everything, and there were way more deaths.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, Ebola, like that one is people start melting from the inside out. That's like a terrifying thing, you know, that's something to get kind of worried about right there. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. We had, you know, hey, make sure you wash your hands and be careful when you're flying abroad. And that was about it. But we've got just every single media source right now either doing one of two things, saying, hey, you're overreacting, this is crazy, look at the numbers, or we're all gonna die, you know. And
Watching too many
it's,
apocalyptic movies.
yeah. Well, you know, and you open yourself up to that when you start watching these doom prophecies, because that's what they are, is it's doom prophecies, just like you know, Armageddon, just like the Revelations, you know, all of these things are doom prophecies that say this is the end of the way of human life forever. And they have to tell us what's happening because it's the end of their way of life. You know, they just kind of spin it.
Right. So you're saying the end of the cabal, it's
Yes,
really,
ma'am.
that's the world that's ending, and they're just trying to create as much of a food source as possible for these,
Hmm.
for their parasitic ways. Because really
Yep.
they need us.
Yeah,
We don't
they're
need them,
they're
they need us.
their ship is sinking right now, and they're like rats that are, you know, attacking each other trying to get to the top right now. And it's only a matter of time until it completely sinks anyway. And you know, I truly believe that anybody is capable of rehabilitation. I really truly do. But that doesn't mean that we have to let them stay inside of the positions of power that they're at. You know, sometimes we might have to quarantine people enough so that they calm it down. They start to recognize what's going on. They don't have the ability to get that instant gratification and that instant fix. And that right there, they go through incredible withdrawals. They go through very awful spaces. Like, you know, you see anybody who's in a position of power ending up going to jail. Like they immediately, oh, poor me, look, my body's going away. My body's getting damaged and I'm going to die, you know, and like, yeah, well, sorry, like your soul's not going to end. Like, it's the way it is, though. You can't do this anymore. Gotta
Yep.
go.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. Well, I thank you so much for joining me, and I will put all the info in the description about this retreat. I really wish I could go. I know it's going to be amazing. And anytime you want to come on and chat with me, I'm all about it, and
Thank
just
you.
absolutely love checking in with you. So, yes, everybody. So check out this retreat. What's actually the name of the retreat, in case people, just need to Google it real quick?
Yes. So it's the 4th annual Golden Frequency Immersion Retreat.
Okay, perfect. And so we can find that info on your website. What's your website name again?
Unleashingnaturalhumanity.com.
Okay, anything else coming up, or anything else we could say real quick, or are we good?
I love everybody. You guys are amazing. Thank you all so much. And we've got this.
Totally. Thank you so much, Eric.
Mm.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you, Laura. Bye-bye.